Welcome to Beyond the Nebula, where humanity doesn't just survive, we rewrite the stars. These original HFY stories explore what happens when humans show the galaxy what we're truly made of. The Interstellar Council believed education could civilize anything, even monsters. For millennia, the galaxy's most dangerous worlds were deemed untouchable. Death worlds where gravity crushed metal, weather peeled skin from bone, and apex predators stalked anything that breathed. These places produced anomalies, outliers, beings hardened not by nurture, but by necessity. So when the Council established the Academy of Galactic Enlightenment, they wanted diversity, inclusion, understanding. They invited every species, even the humans. And the humans, ever unpredictable, sent a teacher. Eira Jennings wasn't flashy. No neural augments, no ambassadorial accolades. Just a field-hardened exobiologist from Mars with 1,000 hours of frontline experience and a 1,000-yard stare to match. She arrived at the Academy on Xylar 3, a Twilight Zone planet with acidic rainfall, crystalline predators, and tectonic instability rated civilization-proof by the Guild of Terraformers. The school's protective dome shimmered under constant bombardment from the environment. But inside was peace, diversity, hope. Eira's assignment: teach multi-species survival theory to a class of hand-picked students from across the galaxy. Some saw it as a challenge. Eira saw it as another Tuesday. Her first lecture was interrupted by seismic tremors. She didn't flinch. Her second was interrupted by a rogue arthropod dragging off a fellow instructor. She killed it with a chair. By the third week, she was leading field trips into active predator zones for practical application. Her students were terrified. But they learned. All but one. Seat 12. Seat 12 had no file, no species tag, just an assigned ID, Kor'Raxx. He never spoke, never blinked. He was massive, easily over 2 meters tall, with an exoskeletal structure like volcanic glass and a scent like ozone and blood. He didn't interact, didn't participate, just watched, always watched. Some students whispered he wasn't a student at all. Some thought he was a test. Eira ignored them. Behavior tells you more than biology, she said once, scribbling survival equations across a hollow board. You can't teach instinct, but you can teach what to do with it. Week 5 brought disaster. Not the usual rain of fire or flash freeze vortex, those were routine. This was different. A Varnox, classified predator-level Apex Red, breached the dome from the lowlands. It wasn't a raid, it was a hunt. By the time alarms blared, 3 security officers were dead. 4 students were missing. Emergency lockdown failed. The creature advanced toward the central lecture atrium. Eira found herself alone, cornered in a corridor with 20 students behind her and the Varnox closing in. She reached for her belt. No weapons. She sighed. Then she grabbed a data tablet, snapped it in half, and fashioned a crude blade from the splinters. She was ready to die standing, but she didn't have to. Because Seat 12 stood in her place. The Varnox lunged. Kor'Raxx moved faster. What followed wasn't a fight. It was a massacre. Not just brute strength, but calculated violence. Strikes that broke tendons, feints that baited counterattacks, dissections in motion. It lasted 12 seconds. Then silence. Kor'Raxx stood over the corpse, coated in acidic ichor, chest heaving. His compound eyes locked onto Eira's. And then he bowed. Security arrived late, weapons raised. Eira stepped between them and Kor'Raxx. "Lower your rifles," she ordered. "He's not a threat. He's my student." The review board didn't know what to do. There were no records of Kor'Raxx's application, no documentation of his arrival, no known species match. Technically, he shouldn't exist. Officially, he had saved T7 lives. Unofficially, he was a death world horror. From the lost moon of Nimeth Zero, a planet so dangerous its own ecosystem triggered extinction-level events every 4 months. Nemeth Zero had been erased from star maps. The Council assumed no intelligent life survived. They were wrong. Kor'Raxx had. Eira sat with him during the inquiry. "You're smarter than you let on," she said. He tilted his head. Then, in a voice that vibrated through the floor, "No one sees a weapon as a student." She leaned back. "That why you stayed quiet?" "That, and I was listening." "To what?" "You. You don't flinch." The Council voted unanimously to expel him. Too dangerous, too unpredictable, a security risk. Eira appealed. She didn't beg, she presented data. Kor'Raxx had higher test scores than any other student. He had never instigated violence. He had prevented 3 attacks prior to the Varnox. He absorbed information at postdoctoral levels, but it was the last data point that changed everything. Kor'Raxx had submitted a thesis, title, The Ethics of Power When Born for Violence. He stayed, but the rules changed. Eira was made responsible for him. She didn't object. She made him her assistant. By semester's end, Kor'Raxx was co-teaching seminars on predator psychology. He helped reconstruct training scenarios from memory, offering insights no textbook could match. Students stopped fearing him. Some even learned from him. And then came the Gen crisis. The Gen Republic, an alliance of 5 warlike systems, launched a bioweapon designed to cull the weak. A retroviral neurovirus was seeded into several Academy-linked supply lines. Within days, symptoms appeared: neurological decay, loss of motor function, death in under 72 hours. There was no cure. The Academy went into lockdown. Eira and Kor'Raxx worked without sleep. They reviewed all biodata, tracked transmission patterns, and traced the origin strain. While others panicked, they adapted. Kor'Raxx, immune due to his unique biology, volunteered for experimental retroviral fusion. Eira engineered the vector. They synthesized a cure in 43 hours. No one else could have done it. Not because of science, because of mindset. When the Gen Republic demanded the Academy's surrender, threatening orbital bombardment, Eira replied with a message. Your virus failed. Your tactics failed. Your understanding of humanity has always failed. Try again. Kor'Raxx added a postscript. She taught me that. Years passed. The Academy grew. New Deathworlders enrolled. Some were human, some were not. All were given one simple rule: learn or die curious. Eira retired quietly. Her final lecture was simple. You invited us to teach. We did. We taught what monsters become when they choose not to be. Behind her stood Kor'Raxx, wearing a professorial cloak, smiling with all 9 rows of teeth. If you enjoyed this story, leave a like and comment. It helps us reach more sci-fi fans like you. And if you love tales where humans shake the galaxy, subscribe to Beyond the Nebula for weekly uploads. Original story by Beyond the Nebula, AI-assisted, human-created. Narrated by Beyond the Nebula. New episodes every week.